265 pounds, Cael Carlson will get the nod for Minnesota. And the Bull, Alex Marinelli, three-time Big Ten champion for Iowa, out to a 10-0 start. The stage is set. Some thunderstruck playing in the background as the Gophers in Iowa ready to toe the line here in 2022.
Well, you can't have a better environment here to get the new year started in Carver Hawkeye Arena with Alex Marinelli, the Bull, getting out there in front of a packed house.
Marinelli from Miamisburg, Ohio, St. Paris Graham. His entrance music is the music used by Ivan Drago in Rocky IV. It is fantastic. The fans love it. And here we go. Marinelli and Carlson, and wasting no time, Jim, getting to his offenses. Marinelli.
Right, jumping in on that head to the outside shot. Carlson doing a nice job of battling there. Gets to the far leg, gets the far ankle right there. Kind of an even situation.
Stalemate neutral.
Referee Angel Rivera calls a stalemate.
Set.
Carlson out of Wilmar, Minnesota, a redshirt sophomore, four-time state finalist, two-time state champion. His father wrestled at Minnesota, as did his uncle Carl, so comes from a wrestling family. And a big opportunity for him here on this Friday night. Andrew Sparks, sophomore from California, at this weight class as well for Minnesota.
Looks like Alex Marinelli's developed a little foot sweep there. A little front headlock dump attempt there. As you can see, most of these attempts that Marinelli takes is right forward. You know, that's why he gets that moniker, the Bull, because he just comes right at you with great attacks here, slightly creating an angle right now, but even as talented as he is with this type of ability, it's tough to take down college wrestlers straight on.
Set.
Marinelli, a three-time All-American. He was 7th in 2019, first team in 2020. That time able to finish. No takedown yet as he lifts him up in the air.
Carlson doing a nice job of scrambling out of that. Now he's got his body to the inside. This looks like a great finish position, but now he loses his balance there first. So Marinelli goes down low, loses his balance, and now it's an opportunity for Carlson to score, and he does.
Two takedown.
Carlson halfway through the first period leads it 2-0. Marinelli, Jim, it looked like he had him dead to rights, but great defense there from Carlson, and now he'll go to work on top.
Just stumbled a little bit on that finish, Shane, and that was just all it took for Carlson to come over on top. So look for Marinelli with the quick escape to go ahead and redouble those efforts.
Marinelli 2-1 at the NCAA championships last March. Going back to 2018, he was 6th. So looking to put it all together in March. Alex Marinelli trails it 2-1, 55 seconds here in this first period. There's that setup off a post and into a leg.
Yep, nice post right there, but good work here by Carlson. He's making it tough. Now he's got that far ankle. Marinelli trying to limp out of that, but Carlson has a 2-on-1. He's losing the grip though. Gets to the far ankle and he'll collect the points.
He corrals that right ankle, and Marinelli with his first takedown of the match and his first lead. Half a minute remaining here in this first period.
Good battle by both these guys. You know, you see the offense coming from Marinelli, and Carlson right back up to his feet, trying to get the quick escape. Separates the hands. It's all tied.
Neutral.
It's a big escape. Short time escape inside of 20 seconds. Ties the match at 3. A little bit surprised there, Jim. In that position, 20 seconds left. Marinelli didn't look to finish the period on top.
No, he didn't there, but you know, it's early season. He's very confident on his feet. And Carlson really hasn't shown anything yet. So let's take a look at the corners.
There you see head coach Tom Brands in his 16th season. Of course, as an athlete, three-time national champion,
you got one stall call.
1996 Olympic gold medalist.
On top.
Carlson starting second period on bottom, quickly to his feet.
And just kind of a little trip right there, forward trip, just kind of a little leg sweep there. Good work there by Carlson, keeping his balance. I don't know how committed Marinelli is to this ride, but he stays with us as they go off the mat. So
rides it for the first 20 seconds here in this second period. Carlson, Jim, this season, 22 matches already, 15-7.
Several open tournaments he's gotten into. He's got some guys that don't have a lot of experience. It's a good thing to do. Get on the road, get some matches in.
Neutral.
Another tally on the board for the Gopher, who's back out in front 4-3. I'll be interested to see, Jim, if Carlson can keep up with the pace of Marinelli for 7 minutes.
Yeah, and right now that pace has slowed down a little bit. You can see that they're wrestling at the same level. Marinelli is known for getting low, below his opponents, then working his head as the opponents come down to his level. Working the underhook right now. Very offensive in the first period. A lot of shots. Now you get into a match right now where there's equal ties here with Carlson the double overhooks and Marinelli working for a double under. But what Carlson's doing well right now is keeping his own balance. He's not pushing into the bull too much. It's hard to get those shots off when you don't have a lot of forward motion into the man.
Marinelli has been phenomenal in duels, a dual meet record in that black singlet of 44-1, 26-1 in Big Ten duels.
See that balance that Carlson is keeping? He's not leaning into Marinelli, and that's where those posts don't work quite as well. So Marinelli, look for him to go maybe in and out a little bit more, create more activity. Even though he's probably the best wrestler in the country going straight on, it's just real tough to take college guys down with this unless you get some sort of quick angle. He's got an angle right now with that underhook.
Straight on shot there from Carlson, and wisely able to recover quickly and back out as the final seconds tick away. The second period in the book.
Yeah, good period for Carlson here. Escape quickly enough.
There you see Mariah Marinelli, the wife of Alex, the director of operations for Iowa Wrestling. Can guarantee her heart, Jim, beating a little bit faster than normal.
That's on me.
No doubt.
It's on me. Get set, okay?
Of course it is.
Let's go. Set. On top.
Sure, her parents, Todd and Hope, watching in Ohio. Maybe they're in the building. Great people. Here's Marinelli with a quick escape. Took him neutral 5 seconds. 4-4.
What's Carlson going to do? Is he hasn't taken a shot yet this match, but he's maintained his position. He's what we call presented himself. You know, stayed right there in the middle, battled fairly well. Now a counter shot right there off of that shot. And you can see young man Carlson gaining a little bit of confidence. He's reacted very well to that snatch single. Now that coming up into that. Now in the bear hug for Marinelli.
Something big perhaps as they wrestle on the edge.
And he followed it through. Certainly like what he did there. He hit the shot. Came right up to the bear hug there, but wasn't able to follow through. And Carlson did a nice job with that left-handed underhook, digging out and getting to a neutral position.
Flashbacks there of Marinelli and Vincenzo Joseph a couple of times in that position. Marinelli trying to suck up, and there he puts Carlson on his back. Carlson quickly to his stomach, but it's a takedown for the bull.
The foot sweep. I've just been begging for that in college wrestling. It's so there. Coming off your shot, coming to that underhook position, beautifully done.
Marinelli now 6-4 as he gets his second takedown, and there's a big mat return with 30 seconds left in the third. And that brings this Hawkeye crowd to life. Marinelli looking for his 45th dual meet victory in that Iowa singlet.
Again, no back points were given there, so you sit there and take a look. Now Carlson still has an opportunity, but let's see what Marinelli does if he's got a closing takedown.
There's a shot from space extended underneath. That's a time hog for the Gopher Carlson. Good battle to begin this duel at 165 pounds. The three-time Big Ten champion Alex Marinelli prevails. The Hawkeye with a 6-5 decision.
Let's take a look at that winning takedown. Jumping up with that double underhook, and you see what he does right here. It comes inside with that right foot, and hits him with that foot sweep with the upper body rotation. That move is there.
The reason this Hawkeye crowd is on their feet is because of that man. For the first time this season, the Hawkeye fans getting a look at Michael Kemerer. The four-time All-American from Murraysville, Pennsylvania. And for the Gophers, 23rd ranked Bailee O'Reilly gets the call tonight for Minnesota. Michael Kemerer wrestling at 174. Hard to believe, Jim, that when he came to Iowa City for Pennsylvania, he was down at 149.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him in his first match at the Harold Nichols Open in Ames as a freshman, and I really felt at that point in time he was the best wrestler in the tournament. That involved a lot of pretty decent schools, and he's just always had a grinding style. And now in his 7th year at the University of Iowa, it looks like he's got favoring the shoulder here. But now his knee tap there. He's got the bottom leg elevated.
Takedown for Kemerer leads it 2-0. You see the shoulder harness on his left shoulder. Kemerer, the Big Ten champion at 174. Beat Carter Starachi 7-2, and then Starachi in sudden victory beat Kemerer in the NCAA Finals 3-1. He's had a great career at Iowa. Michael Kemerer just looking for that national title.
Yep, he's just won some huge matches in this arena. This is a big one here too. And he's one of the crowd favorites. Of course, the maturity that he brings to the program.
Affectionately called Grandpa Mike.
Yeah, of course.
Spoke earlier about Marinelli and his success in duels. Kemerer right there with him. He's 45-1. Overall, 29-1 in Big Ten duels. A great 1-2 punch in recent years with Marinelli and Kemerer at 165 and 174. Riding time now over a minute.
Yeah, and look, don't know exactly what's wrong, but here's where the maturity of Kemerer here is. He's going to go ahead and get as much riding time as he can. Maybe keep the match in his favor, keep a little more control.
O'Reilly 6-1 this season, coming off a 3rd place finish at the Southern Scuffle. The redshirt senior out of Goodhue, Minnesota. Last year 5-1 in the extra matches. Minnesota's also used Jared Kradiger at this weight class.
You have to assume that Kemerer has not had that much work in the wrestling room, going off of a lot of muscle memory here right now. So O'Reilly, if he could keep the pace up, maybe something might happen positively for him. But I see a really relaxed Kemerer out there holding position, and with that wisdom that you gain over several years in the sport here at this level, poised and relaxed and not overexerting himself.
Kemerer 86-8 on his career, so hell of a chance to go over that century mark.
Beautiful.
Good takedown inside of 30 seconds.
So good at the finish there. When he cracks you down there off of that head to the outside shot right there, does as good a job as anybody is switching off to that double leg and collecting points quickly. Doesn't get caught in there.
Just a great first period. Get the 2 takedowns, finish the period on top. Riding time over a minute and a half.
Let's take a look at that first takedown here. He's able to go ahead and just stuff the head, and reaches over to that dresser dump, as they call it. Made famous by the Iowa national champion Kevin Dresser back in '86.
Off the whistle, Kemerer quickly to his feet. And those quick escapes, Jim, that one took 4 seconds.
Yeah, wisdom, experience. It's going to be tough to beat. I don't care. He wrap his whole body up here. He's going to be tough to beat in this tournament.
Set.
You spoke earlier, Jim, you and I, conversation before this duel, just how difficult it is to stick around this long, and you're coming back from winning a team title. It's not that easy.
Yeah, I watched this season. It's going to be one of the more unusual seasons. It's going to be a great national tournament with all these teams, the way they've been assembled here through the portal and development. And, that's happening. And we've got 3 teams, but they're pretty competitive. But these guys have been around for a while. Michich 8 years, Kemerer 7 years. I mean, how do you keep the fire going? I mean, it's going to be a 1 point for Kemerer because of the hands to the face call.
You got to stay off that face, okay? You went right in it, okay?
Not much of a warning on that one.
Set.
Right there, came right to the head. I didn't really see a whole heck of a lot there, but it was within that triangle area. Nice sweep single there. And that's what Kemerer does. He gets that quick angle. He looks like he's straight on, but he's just going to get that quick angle on that swing single. Going to hit you from the side. You think he wants to tie up really hard, and then he goes right into that shot. There's where he's going. His ability to finish quickly, he's had it since he's been a freshman. He knocks a guy down there. He's usually good quick finish. And look at the experience he has in the top position. You see his right hand right there? His right hand is down low on the thigh, keeping his opponent from getting up to his knees.
He had such a dominant season last year. Kemerer, one of those guys that in a 3-1 match, 4-2 match, those close matches, he can dominate those kind of matches. He's so tough to score on with those hips.
10 seconds, gentlemen, 10 seconds.
He's up 8-1.
Let's
Inside
go.
of 10 seconds.
Stay in the center here, set. On top, Green. Set.
Kemerer, a 3-time Big Ten finalist. Getting the crown last March at Penn State.
Red choice.
For the second period. Kemerer finishes the period on top once again.
Down.
And in command here, riding time over 2 minutes.
Both of you guys had
The
score calls, okay,
22nd
gentlemen?
four-time All-American in Iowa history,
Green.
Michael Kemerer.
Set.
And you were talking and alluding to all the momentum that he had going into that national tournament. It was really one of the shocks of the tournament where Strachey was able to keep that match close and
right here.
able to get that takedown in overtime, and really a shocker.
Nope. Okay, hey,
but,
let's go.
You know, kind of talking about this a little bit before, but I think the later start for some of these, you know, and I'm eyes all open as far as, you know, haven't made any decisions about what to do, what not to do, but my coach's mind just tells me is that, you know, holding off on these guys a little bit in the early season, bringing them along. They don't need as long of a runway to get to the full altitude as a lot of people would, and it's certainly not a developed wrestler like Michael Kemerer. So I think a lot of this is good, and you obviously see a shoulder issue right there, but I think that the short runway is going to be good for some of these guys who've been in college programs, you know, for a long time.
I love that. A shorter runway to reach the high elevation. That is good.
You're firing me up, Shane.
Kemerer ranks second in the country. The Big Ten 1, 2, 3 at the weight class, with Strachey, the reigning national champion from Penn State. Kemerer and Mikey Labriola of Nebraska third. Big Ten, 5 of the top 7.
Action,
6 in the top 20 at 174 pounds. 50 seconds. Kemerer riding time locked up. Here's a shot from O'Reilly.
He's got both ankles right there, that low ankle right there on that shot. And Kemerer basically keeping his chest tied tight there.
Kemerer's got to be careful with neutral danger, but recovers and squares up.
He's got a heavy set of hips right here.
Kemerer looking for bonus
No
points.
control, gentlemen, no
Got
control.
20 seconds left. He's up by 7.
You know, most guys get taken down with that shot right there. Good job by Kemerer just getting back to the neutral position. Now he's got an opportunity to score. Nope.
Nothing yet, no control, no
Good
control.
scramble to close
no
the match.
Control.
O'Reilly will hang on to that right leg
One right in time,
and
Green.
keep it to a decision. 9 to the final. Kemerer over O'Reilly. The Hawkeyes with decisions at 165 and 174. These fans have seen it a lot with Marinelli and Kemerer. 197 pounds, another All-American for the Hawkeyes. Ranked 5th in the country, Jacob Warner and Michael Foy. On the other line for Minnesota, here you see Jacob Warner, big personality, a crowd favorite here in Iowa City.
Yeah, he's a guy they're going to have to expect a lot of this year.
Yes, sir. I got you, brother.
You know, one of those
Good luck.
4 or 5 guys that needs to step up and raise the ladder. This weight class at 197 has gotten a lot tougher than it was last year. And I don't think that always makes the difference as far as the improvement goes, but we were on the coach's call with Tom Brands and basically talking about he's seen a much more fiery Jake Warner, and I think that, you know, who knows what that's attributed to, but, you know, sometimes late in a guy's career, you start getting the feedback that you want, and where he's communicating to you exactly what's happening, whereas you're kind of a freshman and sophomore, you kind of take it, and this is an intense practice for him. Nice job by Warner. The reason why I think he can have the success is probably right here in this position here. Foy is a dangerous guy.
Work here.
He comes by it naturally. His father, Michael Foy, was a multi-time Greco-Roman
this way, yes, thank you.
Champion, made the world teams and such, and so he was an All-American, and he could throw you, all right? Better to throw than no.
Jacob Warner, a 3-time third-place finisher at the Big Ten Championships. At the national tournament last March, went in as a 5th seed, finished 4th. And you said it, Jim, you look at 197. Warner's one of those guys, quite frankly, if you told me that he was top 3, I'd believe you. But you look at this whole weight class, depending on how things shake out, it's going to be tough to get on that medal stand.
Yeah, anywhere from being in the finals to you know, no place. And so, but that's the balance of this weight class this year. But what does he bring to the party? He's got good balance. He can win those tough matches, and he is tough in the top position. That was a great job by Foy getting out there with that shoulder roll. Because when he really wants to plant you down, he does have the ability to do that. Not a lot of guys in the weight class can really, when I think about Eric Schultz, he's one of those guys there for Nebraska that can really clamp down on you, make it difficult for you to get out.
Schultz and Warner have had some great battles over the years.
But he's a guy who can hold a lead. Warner is.
125 first period. Warner with the takedown, leading it 2-1. Foy from Crete, Illinois, wrestled at Harper College, where he was a 2-time All-American and won the national title at 165 back in 2019. Now wrestling here at 197. 9-4 this season is the Gopher. 60 seconds first period. Iowa leading it 10-0. Been a good first half for the Hawkeyes. And of course, big match coming up at heavyweight with the Olympic champion Gable Steveson
and
Tony Cassioppi of Iowa. One of the featured matchups as we looked at this duel.
A shot attack to both sides on that. Now he's up on the inside of the leg and doing a nice job of scooping that leg up. Whoa. I love what I saw right there. Attacked one side and immediately swung over and got to the other side. And then the finish on the inside of the leg with the big trip right there was huge. Foy is dangerous. That was a nice job here by showing the Granby and coming back and get to the leg. He's got Warner in a really tough position, and Warner's trying to hold on for dear life there on the edge of the mat.
Still live here at the edge, gentlemen, still live. Period.
And Warner will take riding time to a minute. 4-1 after the first. This Monday, we're very excited for the premiere of Big Ten Wrestling and Beyond. Rick Pizzo and I will break down the big stories in the sports and preview upcoming matchups. Big Ten Wrestling and Beyond. It premieres this Monday at 7 Eastern on the Big Ten Network. Going to have a special Mad Return of the Week award. And Jim, that Mad Return by Abe Assad, he might be in the mix.
Yep, he's in the mix. Warner was with that as well. And I tell you what, you were hitting the big time here. You're spending time with Pizzo in the studio. Fantastic.
That's going to be a lot of fun on Monday.
Give me a second, okay?
I'll be in the lather. You know that.
Yeah.
There's the hashtag. Hashtag B1G Mat Returns. Show us your mat returns.
Set on top.
Can make the show. Abe Assad with that mat return, closing the match. Stuff gets us excited.
See how committed that Warner is here to his ride. 1:08 of a riding time right now. I expect he's going to try to
center, gentlemen. Set on
stay with him a little bit, but Foy's been dangerous from this bottom position. And
Warner out of Tolono, Illinois, Washington High School. Good roll there from Foy, and he gets the escape. Well done.
Yeah, didn't bother trying to get the hand control and all that stuff. Just jumped up to his feet, and during the mat return, basically hit that standing Granby. I love that technique. So we'll see what Foy likes to do. This is the time in the match. You know, you're down 4-2, giving up a little bit of riding time. You're still pretty fresh in this match. What do you have? What's your go-to shot right now? Don't just stand out there in the stance and wait for Warner to come. What are you doing to set up your attacks here? This is why you're a college wrestler. This is why you've made it this far. What are you going to hit him with?
Foy coming off a championship at the UNI Open. In those 3 matches, outscored his opponents 35-5. Looking for that offense here in the second period as he trails it by a pair.
Yeah, the guy's capable of putting up 35 points against those opponents. He's capable of doing something offensively here. Just what's it going to be? I know it's coming.
Had a big win against Tanner Sloan in the duel with South Dakota State's. Was 2-2 at the Cliff Keen in Las Vegas was Michael Foy. Pace is slowed down here in the second period.
Short time. They haven't really given us that technique that we were looking for. Just
arms drag from Warner. There you see Tony Cassioppi. Last year weighed about 270. This year about 250. He is lean and mean. More on that a little bit later on.
Boy, he looks fantastic. We already know how good the next guy looks.
On top, red.
Ooh.
Gable Steveson.
You know, Iowa fans, of course, know and love and respect great wrestling. But the crowd that we saw in front of Gable pre-meet, it rivaled what we used to see 50 years ago with Chris Taylor. You know, walked into an arena and the crowds were just all over him. You know, he's just kids. Everybody wants to get their pictures taken with them.
It was 20 minutes before the meet started. It was 30-40 deep.
Yeah.
And very graciously taking pictures, shaking hands.
Yeah, you made the comment. He says, "Yeah, I'll be with you all night," but it's just I got a match to prepare for.
I mean, I'm as outgoing, and I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, if I'm Gable Steveson, I'll stay here all night. But I have Tony Cassioppi on the other side. I got a job to do tonight.
Yeah, you seem to be a little bit envious of the length of the crowd because yours was maybe about 20.
Warner on bottom here in this third period to his feet, and dropping down is Foy, and he maintains control.
Yep, and just cut the riding time point. So I think what they're going to do is go ahead and go, now that they've cut it now, Foy looks a little bit confused about what the strategy is. His corner is looking for him to go ahead and cut him. One shot with the cradle.
Sit out for Warner. Gets the escape. Now he's back up by 3. Still plenty of time, just over a minute. Great to be back here in Iowa City, Jim. It's almost been 2 years for you and I. It was February of 2020 against Oklahoma State.
Oh, there it is.
2 takedown, you got 2.
Now he's got to cut him. You see Brandon Eggum in the background, the Minnesota head coach.
Gentlemen.
He's kept himself in position to steal this one late.
Yeah, he's got to trust his corner, all right? He's looking over. Now he's going ahead and giving him the... right now, I would just give the intentional release.
Set.
You just let him go.
And you got to protect your ankles here, Jim. You speak about that a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, the thing about that technique, about the intentional release like that, you just pushed him to the edge, and now he's got an opportunity. You don't have much space to attack him. See how he's not on the outer third of the mat. And it's because you pushed him to that point. Right? Give the intentional release. They both start in the neutral position. You give up the 1 point. Don't waste as much time on the edge.
Riding time and on factor. Foy needs a takedown and a ride out. He better get it to work. He's only got 15 seconds.
Well, I think that the Minnesota staff is going to look back at this match and say 1 for 1. One attempt. Here's your second one, 50%, but you didn't give yourself enough time to be able to score. So great outcome there by Foy, a lot to build on. Solid workmanlike win for Warner.
Warner gets the decision at 197.
One name, a name that when spoken echoes a legend of the sport. The name stands for greatness, for gold. One name, Gable.
He is prime time. He is Gable Steveson, the Olympic champion and the reigning national champion for Minnesota. And across the way stands Tony Cassioppi, a two-time All-American for Iowa. These guys meeting for the 5th time. Steveson leading the rivalry 4-0. And Tom Brands told us, Jim, in our conference call with Tony Cassioppi, he's got to make this a battle. Whether it's a shootout or a close match, he's got to come to fight tonight.
Well, there's not anybody that has more respect for Gable Steveson than Tom Brands. He basically is pretty much a fan of the way he competes. Wow, and there's just a nice, beautiful shot right there against Cassioppi, and it's just easier said than done when you have that much quickness and athletic ability. And then I would add to that, he's been able to attack. If you break down the body into 4 quadrants, he attacks 3 of those quadrants exceptionally. You know, he just so good at being able to not knowing where he's coming from and disguising his shots. And when he really needs it, he's, as we saw in the Olympic finals here, he basically snaps down and runs a guy to his right, opponent's left, and gets the go behind her shot. So it's great style that matches his athletic ability.
An epic run to the top of the award stand and capturing that gold medal.
Let him go, guys.
Tokyo.
Let him go.
I jumped out of my chair. I just started screaming, just watching that.
Definitely would be in the conversation for most exciting wrestling match ever. Any style. Wow. Power.
Takedown.
That's not only power, but it's what he did with his lower body there, and you get the other guy hopping, and then you just direct how he's going to land.
You look at a guy that big, strong, physical, powerful. He's pretty, Jim, on a wrestling mat.
Yeah, he just
run. Neutral.
He just said from the first time we got to see him, he was just worth getting there early to Maturi Center, Minneapolis, there just to watch him warm up.
2 takedowns, riding time over a minute. 60 seconds left in the first for Gable Steveson.
Drops him down. He's got that cradle. He's got to settle it back.
2 takedown.
2 points there. Cassioppi doing a nice job with that left arm inside there to break that cradle. That was well done. Most guys go over there.
Cassioppi was 3rd at the national tournaments. And heading into the season, the only losses that he's endured are those 2, Gable Steveson and Mason Parrish. Tony Cassioppi is really, really good.
Yeah, and there's just going up against once in a generation type heavyweights. I don't know if I put Parrish in that category, but certainly the 21-year-old Olympic champion.
Fingers, gentlemen.
Yeah, I tell you what, they just
stop. Still me. Fingers. This kind of stall call, guys. Let's get off those interlocking fingers.
I can't tell you how impressed I was with the second. There's always things you can be impressed about with an Olympic champ. But again, Cassioppi has put the work in to be at this level. Watch this. Most guys get stuck right there. I'll let go of it. Look at his lower body get active. Now pop the hips in, all right, and redirect his fall. Yeah.
See Coach Gable, 1972 Olympic gold medalist.
You know, when you name your son Gable, right, you don't have to rebound free throws for the rest of your life.
1, neutral.
Steveson wants to be on his feet.
Let him go, guys.
Contested escape by Cassioppi, 6-4 match. Similar position, cradle.
1, 2.
Gotta count.
You got 2, take 2, near fall.
First near fall of the night, 2 for the Gopher. I was really impressed with Steveson at the Olympic trials in April in Fort Worth. Wrestled Nick Wisdowski, multiple-time world medalist in 2 matches, beat him 10-0 and 10-4. And I think it was at that moment a lot of us knew this is going to be some kind of summer for Gable Steveson.
Yeah, and the way he finished it was just we all know that you know, he signed a contract with the WWE, and I don't know what that means as far as his career with USA Wrestling, but you know, future's so bright.
Of course, his brothers in WWE, Bobby.
And I had a long talk with Robert Steveson, his father, today, and these 2 wrestled in the little kids tournament, Junior Celtic Open in Providence, Illinois, in little kids action. So they've met a long time. So can you imagine if you finished 3rd in that weight class, right? And you're sitting there going, oh, I got people, oh, my kid's no good, he only got 3rd. Well, you got 3rd to 2 great wrestlers that are getting their education paid for at college. And one that's ended up being perhaps the best heavyweight we've ever seen. You just never know who you're going against at that level and what they're going to become.
And Cassioppi, a U23 world champion, won that title in Serbia. Gable Steveson, as you mentioned, Jim, signing that contract with the WWE. Believe this is SummerSlam. He's a superstar, no question. There you see him getting inside the squared circle, and behind him is Tamira Mensah-Stock, women's freestyle gold medalist. A lot of talent inside that ring.
Oh boy, was Tamira she was just amazing in that tournament. She
was
dominating.
Green stalling, 2 takedown.
Level change, driving through for 2 more. Gable Steveson putting on a clinic here in Iowa City.
1, neutral.
Riding time is secured.
Let him go, gents.
Working on a major decision is Gable Steveson. 68-2 in his career. Has never lost a dual meet.
Wow.
Great counter shot.
It was just like what we saw. What's Cassioppi? What's he been working on? And that you just saw it right there. And he just stayed in position, brought that toe up here, guided right under it, and went back into his counter shot. That's where he's gotten a lot better at the international level.
Neutral.
Steveson in 2 matches, 20 points in his first match, 22 in his second. And he's got 15 locked up already and still 45 seconds to work with here against Cassioppi. Steveson, the Hodge Trophy winner, shared that award last season with Iowa's Spencer Lee.
I was really glad to see that, because the Hodge Trophy should not be just about mathematics. There's just the visual of both those wrestlers are 2 different weight classes, 2 different body styles, 2 different types of competition. It was clear that Steveson was deserving of that Hodge.
2 takedown.
A share of it.
So happy he came back for another season.
Short time,
Gable Steveson, people watching in awe.
They respect it.
Yes,
We'll see a nice round of applause here. There's his dad, Robert Steveson. A nice visit today.
17-7. Gable Steveson.
Standing ovation.
Wow, a standing ovation inside Carver Hawkeye Arena for Gable Steveson. Could we get the backflip? Probably save that one for March in Detroit, but so much respect. People enjoying the moments.
Yeah, this is probably the worst kept secret there ever was, right?
Drake Ayala, 10-2. His 2 losses are to Patrick McKee, who's ranked 7th in the country. McKee, 13-1. What a national tournament that Gopher had last March when he finished 3rd.
Seeded 15th.
Great run.
Nice run in the consolations. Had 3 pins. A nice little slide by there by the freshman, Fort Dodge Dodger.
11 seconds in, Ayala with the first takedown. He leads it 2-0. These two wrestled just last weekend. McKee won it 6-5. Ayala was leading it. McKee a takedown and a ride out to win it. See that tight waist and a claw ride, digging into the Resolite. Ayala, the Hawkeye, building riding time.
Work here,
this is important because you know that McKee's pretty tough in the top position as well. You neutralize that, and you're going to go ahead and try to keep McKee down, but he can also be dangerous from down here as well. And we've seen in the earlier matches McKee come back in these matches.
And on top. Yes, sir.
That match Ayala had in the third place match of the Southern Scuffle, wrestling then 12th ranked Noah Certain of Missouri. Ayala went to his back early, was down 7-0 to the third period. He got 4 takedowns, 2 turns for 6 near fall, and won the match 14-10. It was spectacular.
Well, he's got 36 seconds of advantage time right now. Now McKee, again, with that slide by, when you hit that type of technique on a guy, now all of a sudden you can't push in as much. You got to be able to keep your own balance, or you're going to find yourself on your hands again. There it is, right there. It's a nice little snap, and see how he's able to go ahead. But this is a chest wrap situation. The Key brothers are famous for this. Patrick and Mitch lived in this position, so very familiar with it. They can put guys on their back from that position. A little slide by here. You see, nice little duck, and look at his lower body just fly out of that position here and get a great angle and a shot.
90 seconds remaining in the first. 2-1 Ayala. Pair of 3-time state champions. Ayala, Fort Dodge, Iowa, McKee, St. Michael, Albertville, St. Michael, Minnesota.
You know, I don't know if you can compare, but that quickness that you're seeing out of Ayala, he seems to be, you know, it's John Smith type quickness and reaction time. And you can tell his ability to go ahead and fly out, create angles, anticipation, and that's really what quickness is in this sport, is anticipation.
McKee 13-1, his lone loss in the duel against Oklahoma State's Trevor Mastro Giovanni. That was a 10-6 match won by the Cowboy. Hawkeye fans making some noise, getting behind the true freshman. He turned 19 this past October.
Look at that crowd of his teammates in the background, all on their feet. They know how important this guy's development is to their championship hopes, and they're right with him. Nice job of sliding out of that again. It's the footwork. It's really some impressive about this young man. Good enough to not give up the straight-on shots. Always hanging, always clinging.
Donning that black Iowa singlet for the first time in his career. First of many. And a slick first takedown, Jim, and the crowd really got behind him.
They really did here. To take a look at that little slide by right there. Snap there, turns. Again, caught McKee not carrying his own weight. And then, again, what's impressive about that, not only the slide, but also the lower body follow through.
Fans love it. His teammates love it.
Set.
Yeah, he's young man stole the show.
McKee starting this second period on bottom. And with McKee's strength on top, Jim, what do you anticipate here from Ayala?
Well, that's why getting a hole at 30 or 60 seconds of riding time is pretty important.
Neutral.
It's got the escape, so that cuts the advantage time to only 53 seconds, so he doesn't have that. So this is, you know, if you're Ayala, you want to stay aggressive on your feet. You've been able to get to McKee's legs. You've seen where you know, Mastro Giovanni against Oklahoma State, he was able to get to that leg that was taped up several times. But that's really not the natural shot that Ayala takes. And but he does have a nice head to the outside shot on that side. And coming right back to that single again. And that seems to be the leg that McKee can defense the best.
Did a good job squaring up, staving off the takedown. So keep it at 2-2.
The amount of time that's remaining here, let's see if Ayala changes his shots or McKee gets a shot of his own off at this point in time. But with that head-hands defense in motion, it's just really tough to break through for McKee into the legs of Ayala.
Another shot there, but defended with that underhook on the right side by the Gopher McKee. Mentioned Ayala taking third at the Southern Scuffle. McKee winning the Southern Scuffle last weekend in Chattanooga.
And right there, just that little action right there.
There's a stall call on McKee.
3 straight attempts there by Ayala. Now, McKee tried to drive the underhook, but that's just the repetitions of getting in on those half shots. Switches into a double leg. Does he get him? Does he take him all the way to his back? He does.
McKee at the edge, a takedown for 2 and 2 near fall. A 4-point flurry in the final 20 seconds of the second. McKee goes out in front.
Just stayed on the tracks a little too long. Took on the straight-on double leg, and that's just the power of the McKee and the experience, and then taking him right to his back.
What a way to close the second.
Take a look, just straight-on shot. Lower body, drives right through, and then gets the head trapped. Yep, 2 count.
And this is exactly where McKee wants to be. He's up 6-2, going in that top position where he is dominant.
Here we go.
Yep, the important thing now here for Ayala, can he get away from McKee? McKee is known in the top position to be able to control and turn guys, and if he's going to give up the escape, it's not where he really wants to be. He's already given up a warning, so just activity on Ayala's part, maybe collect a point that way, but he's going to need a takedown.
Like I said, last week he was down 7-0 to Noah Certain in Missouri and scored 14.
I'm looking for him to get to that leg that's taped right there. That's not a position. He's had several attempts at this. He can burn some clock in this position.
I was going to look to dump him to that hip, correct, Jim, and then scoop it?
Yeah, but see how he brings the other leg in there, the left leg in there to kind of split the grip?
Stomach.
Yeah, that's a favored position. Again, as much time as McKee likes to spend in that chest wrap position, he's got to switch legs if he wants to, I think, win this. Let's attack the other leg. Does he have that in him? I know he's got the shot. Is he willing to pull it? And McKee, double underhook. What does he have with this? Marching forward. When he feels Ayala back out and ready to shoot, he carries his own weight.
McKee's been hit for stalling once. Good attack there from McKee. Another takedown.
Yeah.
Great timing and execution from the Gopher.
Yeah, just the power right there. Again, straight on. Stayed on the tracks.
One.
Riding time and on factor. McKee 8, Ayala 4 with 35 ticks here in the third. Now we need something big, feet to back.
Well, I'll tell you what, Patrick McKee is showing a lot of poise in this match. Again, not going to get beat by the slide by the second time around. He's fought off that shot pretty well, but Ayala is not.
Let go of the fingers, gentlemen. Let go of the fingers.
That back leg. Again, the poise of McKee. It's tough to do.
Danger, 1. 2, takedown.
And there's a takedown for Ayala to close the match, but he falls short as McKee defeats Ayala for the 3rd time. But this Hawkeye fan base, a lot of support, a lot of great things to come from Drake Ayala.
Well, he's an Iowan. They see him in the lineup, and they know he's got a great future ahead of him. They want to keep him encouraged.
33 pounds, Austin DeSanto, ranked 3rd in the country, and Jake Gliva brings with him the number 24 ranking. Austin DeSanto, 10-0 this season. 8 of those victories, bonus point wins. He's outscored his opponents 166-43 in those matches.
Finds himself giving up a low ankle shot there. Now he's pressed the leg out, got the bottom leg hooked. Gliva trying to clear his head out. You see the lock is around the chest, and not enough time for Gliva to finish that.
Gliva, redshirt junior out of Inner Grove Heights, Minnesota.
Wait for me, okay?
Was a 4-time finalist and 3-time state champion for Will Short, former Gopher. Here's DeSanto with a single leg. Scoops up both legs.
We got no control.
Nothing yet.
We got no control, gentlemen.
We got
no control.
Pop his head and get the 2. Should just be a matter of time. There it is. DeSanto, the Big Ten runner-up, fell to Roman Bravo Young. 5-2 in that Big Ten final. Went on to take 3rd at the national tournaments. Lost a tough one to Dayton Fix 3-2, and then came back with a tech fall and a 10-5 decision to close it out.
One neutral.
Of course, you know, with DeSanto, you've always knows that he's going to go ahead and go hard with that. And he loves that near arm far leg there, with the left arm being the lead arm on the shot right there, kind of hitting that shot right there. He can switch to single. Going to come back to that technique and fouls it up.
2 takedown.
But the key to him, you know, since he's worn the black and gold uniform, is just the high pace of the match. He wears guys down. He really comes hard with that left-handed collar. Just continues to shoot.
Lives on the legs, pops his head again.
No control, gentlemen. No control.
And he's one of those guys that can
Danger
score 3-4 takedowns in about 45
Danger
seconds.
one.
He can put him up in a
2,
hurry.
3, 2 takedown.
Rivera gives the 2.
You got 2 takedown. 1.
Here's a stat for you, Jim. DeSanto has scored 20 points or more in 26 career matches.
Yeah,
that's a lot of points.
It is. Minnesota staff is going to throw their challenge brick in this match because they believe that DeSanto got his locked hands after the takedown.
Of course, they will review this. You get 1 challenge in a dual meet. If you are correct, you keep the brick for future challenges. If he's wrong, it's lost. 13-7, Iowa leading Minnesota.
Yeah, take a look at this takedown. Join the official. It's not the same look that they would have here, but you see DeSanto, right now he's getting the neutral danger call there. You see the referee bringing that left arm up right there, 2, now 3. That's the takedown's given, and now he's got his hands locked after the takedown has been given. We'll see if he's had enough reaction time. His hands were definitely clasped there, but it's the only good look that we have.
Reviewing at the head table, they'll make their decision. Shane Sparks, Jim Gibbons, glad to have you here on the Big Ten Network. It is opening night here in the Big Ten Conference, the premier conference in the nation. Looking forward to a phenomenal year. We'll be joining you 2-3 times a week. Of course, plenty of action on it. Big Ten Plus as well. See Zach Sanders there on the right, All-American for the Gophers. Austin DeSanto back to talk with Terry and Tom Brands.
So clearly the hands are locked right here, but he's getting the neutral danger count, but it's really difficult. You got a headgear on, you got the crowd cheering and all that stuff. You don't really know whether you've gotten a takedown or not. And then clearly moved up, and he already had the takedown before. I just don't see where it was used to get an advantage, but it's just, he already had the takedown because of the 3 count on the neutral danger. He didn't use it, too much beyond that. I think this would fall into the category of reaction time.
Austin DeSanto, Jim mentioned that 3rd place finish. And he had a match against McKee Philippi of Pitts. Won that match 13-5. It's one of the best matches I've ever seen from the way that he navigated it. His efficiency in his shots, couple mat returns, wrestled great at the edge, short time scoring, finished periods on top. When he puts it all together, he's a tough guy to beat.
Yeah, it looks like to me like they're making an adjustment to the clock. So when the locked hands are called, they'll make an adjustment on the riding time. You don't gain additional riding time. So that's the indication to me that says this might be.
Well, I think so, because they gave Brandon Eggum the brick back. So they'll make the adjustments on the clock. The other thing, too, Jim, is Gliva just got himself a nice break.
After further review, we have a locked hand, green, 1 red, 1:04 on the clock with 30 seconds on riding time.
See, I just don't know in the big scheme of things if that was worth this much of a break.
But you got a locked hand
in the match.
You know that, right?
You know, we got to get to a point where we can get this done quicker. And the referee's got to see it, believe your call. If there's not evidence, quickly, you know, just get there quickly. And I know they're trying, and we're not in their shoes, so it's difficult. But
hold on,
to see an intentional release and not just the 1 point escape. So.
One.
Quickly
Neutral.
works out in front. Inside of a minute, first period. DeSanto from Exeter, Pennsylvania, wrestled at Drexel his true freshman year before coming to Iowa City.
Tell you what, Gliva's got a nice shot to that lead leg. DeSanto find himself in here probably looking for a little more time to finish this, but he's got that his right arm trapped underneath there, and that's really nullifies any finish.
Check. Caution.
A little bit quick off the whistle.
That's your second one. Check.
Cautions, you get
3 before a point.
Right.
We'll, of course, be back here this Sunday, 2 p.m. Central, Iowa and Purdue, right here on the Big Ten Network. I believe Purdue wrestling Nebraska tonight.
Yeah, that's it. Tony Ursuline, former Hawkeye wrestler here, coming into Carver. A good match at 57, possibly.
Devin Schroeder, Big Ten Finals, 125. Coming up after this duel is over, don't miss a brand new episode of On the Mat, featuring a look at Olympic champion Gable Steveson and Iowa's impressive senior class. On the Mat, I love it. They do such a phenomenal job on those. Saw a preview at the intermission. Watch that full episode right after this conclusion of this duel. DeSanto looking for some back points.
And this is where I'm seeing some improvement in DeSanto's game. He's trying to turn guys in the top position, and he always, guys have been in these programs a while. You look, okay, what's going to be,
stalemate,
version 4.0 for DeSanto, and I think they're looking to try to get a little more aggressiveness in the top position and just not so many takedowns that let him up.
133, 6 of the top 11 hail from the Big Ten.
Well, they'll take that, by the way. They'll take those takedowns because DeSanto just puts up those points and wears guys out. Really has that physical style that people like to watch.
High attack rate. Pace is slowed down here in the second period. So 1 point match, 6-5.
I'd say that Austin DeSanto has been one of the most scouted guys in college wrestling in his 2 and 3 years. That hits the same basic technique so many times off the same tie that he gets them. Very few guys have been able to shut him out from the tie-up, but
keep it right here in the center, gentlemen.
It's not because they haven't thought about it, the coaches haven't thought about it or worked about trying to beat his style.
Quick shot off the whistle from DeSanto. Good hip pressure. Backing from Gliva.
Yeah, got a little anvil in his butt there.
Got him on his shoe tops, forehead into the Resolite. Now DeSanto works up.
Work through it, gentlemen, work through it.
But you rarely see Austin DeSanto get spun around. A punt is good for Gliva in this situation.
Hey, out of there.
Just get back to the neutral position and see what you can do.
Gliva has kept this one close as we head to the third.
At the end of the second period, DeSanto 6, Gliva
Gliva 9-4 this season.
Two cautions, okay?
Was a champion at the Bison Open at North Dakota State in mid-November. 6th at the Cliff Keen Invite. That was the Gophers' highest finish in Vegas.
Yeah, right now he's done a nice job of spinning out. Right there, he's got the tie he wants to be able to attack. DeSanto does. Gliva comes right to tie up those elbows. And when you're used to an inside bicep guy, and you got a guy that hits your elbows like that really hard, it just doesn't give you. You just don't feel comfortable.
Work here, gentlemen.
Going
Work
after
here.
that shot. Crowd's yelling that Red's just hanging on, and they're correct. He is, but you know he's trying to get DeSanto.
Both
with
men,
those elbow
action,
ties,
action.
he's been able to go ahead and cut his attack rate significantly.
There's a shot from Gliva.
He's got back in on a low shot right there, but now he doesn't have the ankle as tight, and he doesn't feel like moving up, and he punted. Which is okay.
Yes. Whistle blows as we're back to our feet. Towing the line with 1:01 in the third. Gliva needs to take down the tide. He trails it by 2.
So he's going to go ahead. He's come over the collar with the left arm right there, and so he's.
If you're Gliva right here, Jim, 45 seconds. Hey, let it all fly.
Yeah,
try to steal one here.
Yep, exactly. And I think it's probably going to be something off these elbow ties right here, where he just maybe tries to pass. Right there.
Got nothing to lose if you're Gliva against the 3rd-ranked DeSanto of Iowa.
Now DeSanto is the one that's holding on. I understand he's built the lead.
Green stall.
There's a stall call on DeSanto. DeSanto maintains position. Is a nice job there to circle his butt back toward the center. 7-5 DeSanto improves to 11-0 on the season. 3 more for the Hawkeyes, and Iowa leads at 16-7.
We're back at Carver Hawkeye Arena, and there you see a good shot of Tom Brands here getting ready for his troubadour to come out. And we're all mourning the loss in the NCAA wrestling community of a guy that lost his life here a little while ago. Mark Ryland, 1991 NCAA champion, coach at Iowa City West. One of the great teams that Coach Gable has ever had. Mark Ryland, great teammate, great coach, great man, great friend. They had a close relationship as teammates at the University of Iowa, and we're going to miss him. Board member of USA Wrestling, had a lot of impact, very successful state championship, high school coach 7 times, and
sad day for wrestling, no question, on the passing of one of the great guys. Love his sense of humor, so unassuming, little sarcastic. Mark Ryland from Eagle Grove, I would definitely miss him.
Yeah.
100.
Condolences here to the Ryland family, and Marv here, you and I graduate, longtime coach at Eagle Grove. Coach
2 takedown.
Move on to 141.
Jaydin Eierman a takedown 10 seconds in. Eierman ranked number 2 in the country, national finalist. Matt returned to keep it 2-0 lead. There's an escape 2-1. Eierman, a 4-time All-American. He's been 4th, 3rd, or I'm sorry, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. Looking to take one more step up on the podium.
Yeah, going into the national tournament as the #1 seed.
He was 32-2 last season, won the Big Ten championship. Or actually, last season was 9-0. And then had that match with Nick Lee in sudden victory. Another one of those Big Ten finals that Penn State was able to turn the tide in the NCAA final.
Well, you know, that was such an unusual match for Eierman. You know, he's been the kind of the master of you know, his defense, cutting corners on guys, locking them up in cradles. He's really good when he smells that blood in the water here, able to go ahead and put the guys to their back. And, you know, a lot of times what that requires is your opponent basically taking those shots. And in that finals match, almost out of character, Eierman was the guy that was doing the attacking. He was on the offensive and really wrestling a pace he probably hadn't wrestled many times during the course of the year. And, you know, I've always felt this, that, you know, had some great leg riders, guys that were good with the legs and top position and great defense. And it takes a while to get those guys into shape, all right? And then all of a sudden, when you start taking, you know, wild shots and go straight on and try to create action in a match, it's something that I think the athlete hadn't experienced. So he was wrestling a match that was a little bit out of character. And I think it wore on him. And I'm looking forward to the future matches because everybody makes adjustments here at this level to become a national champion. But he's right there. But
just a game plan executed to perfection by Nick Lee. He never went on bottom.
No doubt. Didn't have to with being able to take down on the feet and really caught Eierman a couple times. Beautiful inside trip. But, you know, the thing that's exciting about Eierman is that he's been able to come back from some deficits this year and maybe wrestling a little bit more of an aggressive style is what he has to add to his repertoire to become a national champion.
Had that crazy match with Dresden Simon of Central Michigan. Another tight one with Ryan Jack of NC State. Those were down in Florida at the collegiate duels. But Eierman 9-0 finds a way to get it done.
Work here, gentlemen.
Over 100 victories, 110-14 career mark. Of course, he was at Missouri with Brian Smith before coming to Iowa City. Big Ten Wrestling fans, an Instagram account dedicated to you at B1G Wrestling. Follow that for the best Big Ten highlights, videos, images, straight from the mat to your feed. Fantastic. You got a text that we went over 50,000 Instagram followers.
That's all you, Shane.
Yeah. That or Gable Steveson highlights. Yeah. We just started that last year, over 50,000 and growing. Just do a great job on the social media side.
We have a great product here. The conference wrestling here, the rivalries between the schools, the coaches, the excellence, the fan support.
Go there tonight. You'll see the Gable highlights. Gopher fans will be happy to see the Patrick McKee highlights as he beat Drake Ayala for the third time this season.
Center!
Just so much content and opening night, as I said, here in the Big Ten. All kinds of wrestling around the country.
Engage, gentlemen.
Get the highlights, get the stories at B1G Wrestling on Instagram.
Center!
Love to see that get to over 100,000, Jim, here in 2022. We can do it. Tell you what, of course, Big Ten volleyball's fantastic. Badgers get it done. We're in a fight with volleyball on that Instagram lead.
Yeah. It's a great sport.
Eierman leading at 3-1. That was an unbelievable final.
Yeah.
All Big Ten final, Wisconsin over Nebraska.
Last few years, right? All that action has been fantastic. And
5-set battle. Wisconsin knocking on the door, and finally breaking through. Eierman's up by 2, 35 seconds, second period. Goes to a body lock and finishes.
And that's what he's looking for there. That's the type of action, that type of, single leg, then move up to the upper body, see what opens up.
Slides the right leg in, crossbody ride from the Hawkeye Eierman. Bergeland out of Hugo, Minnesota, wrestled for his father John at Centennial High School. 12-4 this season, coming off a championship at the UNI Open. Was 7th in Vegas at the Cliff Keen. Back in mid-November, was 3rd at the Bison Open.
Let's take a look at that takedown by Eierman. He's got to do more of this here to open up tight matches there. So everybody inside comes right around that waist, right? And that's I think that's there more often than what he's getting to.
Green top.
Jim, you think there could be some fireworks at the Big Ten tournaments at 141?
How about Lincoln, Nebraska? You know how much fun that's going to be in the Haymarket area there? Nebraska is going to be well represented, of course, at the host school. And, of course, across the river, you got all the Iowa fans coming over there. And it's mayhem. I'm getting there a day early, all right? How about you?
For sure.
Well, come to Des Moines, and we'll drive over.
That's right. We talked about that. Yeah. 141 of the Big Ten, the top 5. Lee, the reigning national champion. Iron, Stevan Micic, two-time Big Ten champion at 133. We haven't seen him since that 2019 season. He's up to 141. Dylan Duncan of Illinois, and Chad Redd Jr. is ranked 9th, and he's a 4-time All-American.
That's crazy. Chad Redd always shows up in the national tournament, walks away with the hardware, and just out of respect, he ought to have a higher ranking than that.
Couple losses this season for Redd, but as you said, Jim, Chad Redd in March is a different kind of animal. Eierman going to work on top. Riding time is locked up, so Eierman 6-2.
Again, it's just interesting. His style is fascinating. Really high wrestling IQ. Sets a lot of traps out there, and it's almost like the higher level the opponent, the better off that he can do, because those guys want in on his legs, and he wants them in on his legs. He's right up. See how he tries to finish this technique. Short time.
Now 51-5 in duels.
Two times, one time. Good job.
Decision for the Hawkeyes at 141. Yeah, watching Max Mirren, you get tired because he's so physical. He battles so hard.
Yeah,
he's always in a dogfight, always in a dogfight. Final match in this duel, it's Brayton Lee and Caleb Young. These two wrestling it 3 times last year. Young winning the first 2 battles, and then Lee winning at the national tournament 3-2. These are always one-point matches. They have been.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what this one is. You'd see these guys opened up at the beginning. That little whip-over attempt there by Brayton Lee. Looked like he had that there for a while, but Young, as we've seen in the past here with him, and in the Minnesota duel, where he could be dead to rights there and go just pull something out, and you're just not even expecting it from him. But
I was trying to think back, and I hate to guess. Remember that duel a couple years back? He hit that throw, I believe it was against Steve Blyes, correct?
Yeah, right.
Blyes came off the mat, blood all over his face.
Yep, and the whole, it was just kind of like that last match. That action was worth the the 7-minute wait. It almost looked like he was going to his back, and then just lateral drops him.
That was a great throw.
Yeah, you never seen him do anything like that before or since, But
timed it perfectly.
Yeah, Tom Brands talks about Caleb Young as being one of those. He quoted Mark Johnson. Oh, whip over the other direction there. So both these guys have had whip overs.
2-0 Caleb Young as he wins that flurry.
Yeah, and gets a score out of it. And matches past, Lee's had a difficult time getting out from underneath, but gets the release basically, not contested.
Brayton Lee having a fine season, 10-0. He's been battle-tested, beating a few ranked guys along the way. A champion at the UNI Open. And Caleb Young off to a 4-0 start, and then he dropped a few matches. 2-4 in his last 6. 6-4 on the season.
Well, I love the fact that you got some. What's different in this match compared to the other one, get the points early, and now you're going to open it up here. What's Brayton Lee going to go? He's waving at his single leg right there. Not much effort. Now trying to that shrug right there from the overhook position. The reason why that didn't work in that position, because Young carries his own weight right now. He's not pushing in too hard. He's just going to have to gut out a leg attack. And Gophers have been a little light on their attacks there. You saw Gliva get in a few of them, but not many attacks.
Caleb Young, a 3-time All-American, was 7th before or after being a first team in 2020.
Let's take a look at that whip over here. So Shot right there. I love that because that's a great thing to do because the left knee of Lee was down, all right? So you try to drive over that and able to go hard with that underhook and commit to it. So
that guy in the middle there should be on the team. For sure. You've seen him all night?
Yeah, you've got to get more of him. It's like, you know,
that is a team shot, though, correct?
Yeah, it is.
First, I thought it was all fans. These guys are into it on the Hawkeye bench.
Yeah, that's what's so. You know, we saw that too a few years back, and you know, maybe it was the start of the 2020 season. It was back in 2019, and we were doing a meet here. I think it was the Nebraska meet. The camaraderie of this group of Hawkeyes through their careers has been on display. You know, they really like each other, and I think you see that with a lot of different programs. Now a little slide by there. Great work there by Young. Just doing a nice job of staying relaxed, anticipating the next move. You don't need camaraderie, you know, but it's nice. You know,
oh, for sure.
In a wrestling room where it's competitive and you got a lot of guys trying to achieve the same things. You need competition in a wrestling room, but camaraderie is nice too, where you can put everything out there against your teammates and opponents that are trying to make a spot and all that.
Guy bringing the intensity tonight, Charles Matthews, that's his name. Good teammate in every match. He's living and dying with every position.
Yeah.
Young up by 2 inside of 30 seconds. Half shot there by Lee. Lee 6th at the national tournament in March.
Yeah, he's going to have to find a way to break open through that head-hands defense, create a lot more activity than what he's done to this point. This match is not going Lee's way.
Want to remind you that coming up right after this duel, don't miss a brand new episode of On the Mats, featuring a look at Olympic champion Gable Steveson and Iowa's impressive senior class. Again, that is right after this duel.
Get those hands up, get those hands up. There you go.
Saw some of that feature during the intermission. Get that full feature right after this duel.
Give me a second, gentlemen. Give me a second. Set, don't move. On top green.
Lee quickly to his feet. Great return from Young. Another one.
Well, here's what he's doing, Shane, is he's coming elbow deep around there, and then he's locking right now. Right here, he's locking with his arm that's around the waist with that palm down. And when you lift, you can control that right hip.
3 returns as building time rides over 30 seconds. Look at that.
There.
Look at everybody in the background getting fired up.
Take a look at what he's doing right here, though. It's all technical right now. Hand over the top right there, lifts and controls that hip, brings him down.
Tough wrestling from Caleb Young.
And this is where he's had difficulty in past matches there with Young. He's only got 15 seconds to get out.
Green stalling.
Warning on Young, but you got to stay with this ride right there. Arms all the way across the back. That will not be called an escape till that hand gets across. And there it is, an escape with 57 seconds left.
57 seconds. Young was 3 seconds away from having riding time at a minute.
1 minute.
Just one takedown in this match, that by Caleb Young in the first. Another 1-point contest here with Young and Lee. They've been here before.
Straight on shot there by Young, knee tap situation, squared up nicely. This is how you become a college wrestler. Is you dive back into those shots like that. And that's what he had to do. Just gut it out.
Jim, from my angle, you could see that in Lee's eyes when he went in for that attack and takedown.
It's not over with.
Now Lee looking for a mat return and out of bounds and back to the center with 16 seconds.
And this is what you work on college and high school wrestling rooms. It's so important, those 15-second escapes. Got to start with a good start. Get your body in the right position, ready to explode.
Hawkeye crowd at their feet.
He split the grip. Nope, he has it. Roll through there. Scramble situation for Young, but now he's hung onto the leg.
Lee is going to hang on and remains undefeated, now 11-0 with a 4-3 decision.